What's up, you guys? It's been a long time since I actually got into making a few videos kind of like this one, but since it is since I've been taking this class in school, it's called Apologetics, and the material that they gave us, it's a book entitled "I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist." I thought I would share it with many of you. It goes into the means of inner truth and it goes basically into the basic foundations of the Christian faith, of the whole topic of theism, and why we believe what we believe. Now, in the public square and in many institutions and colleges and places like universities, most of the professors, most of the government officials, most of them are atheist. When I say that, I mean mostly most college professors, most university professors, simply that much so. And it seems kind of it seems to have a lot of pressure to it that many are afraid to talk about their faith. And when I say afraid to talk about their faith, I mean like when I would go out on the streets to evangelize. I would walk up to a person. I wouldn't even introduce my name yet. I would ask them, "Do you mind if I ask you a question?" And then I would ask them, "Well, do you believe in God?" Some people usually look at me and then they shrug for a second, or they don't want to explain what they truly believe. For what reason, I don't know. Maybe it's because they think I'm either against it or they don't want to go into the true means of their faith. But it seems too private, because I believe that we all must believe something. But that's my personal belief. One thing I'm going to get to in this video is choosing religion and what is truth. When you come up to someone and you ask them, when you ask them about choosing a religion, most people would say, the skeptic would say, I don't believe in religion because truth doesn't exist. You can't really define what is truth, or all truth is relative. It's not absolute. The theist would say that truth is God, truth is Jesus, truth is this, truth is that. And when you ask all these different perspectives and all these different views, it all comes back to the basic question: what is truth? And then there's people that say that it doesn't exist. But before we go into what truth is, let's explain what the three main worldviews that we're going to cover in this video. The first one is theism, which is the belief in God or gods that created the world or that had made mankind. Atheism is the belief in simply no gods, and it's just man. The universe did have a beginning, but it wasn't created by anyone or anything. Pantheism is the belief that all beliefs, everything is God. I'm God, you're God, the computer's God. Everything that we can touch and feel in this entire room is God. Those are the three different worldviews, and many people, when they come down to religion and they want to say choose a religion. Well, before we even get to choosing religion, many people don't want to choose religion because they're skeptical of religion, saying that they can either all be right or they can all be wrong. Some people throw religion completely out the door and they say that religion is futile, religion is for the weak. But when you really comes down to the end of the day, there is something that you must believe in. Skepticism in its entirety is something that is difficult to believe in because it's a self-defeating statement. A self-defeating statement is just a statement that contradicts what it states to be true or false. So if I say there's no such thing as truth, is my statement true? Do you see what I'm saying? If I say that all truth is relative, there are no absolutes, is what I said absolute? Is it completely true? Does it apply for everyone at every time and in every way? Because the whole foundation of truth, besides going to the Bible, besides going to the Quran, besides going to the Bhagavad Gita, many of these other religious books always have a definition for what truth is. But the way that I see truth is, it's simply telling things as they are, telling things as explicitly as possible. Like gravity. Isaac Newton discovered gravity. However, did that mean that gravity did not exist until he discovered it? Certainly not. The same thing goes for the world being round. For us at that time, when we thought the earth was flat as a human race and before time, we could have said that the earth is flat and that everything just revolves around earth. But as we discover new things, we discover in reality the earth is round and we are revolving around the sun. Our views about how the world works changed, not the simple fact that the earth does revolve around the sun or that it is round. Do you see what I'm saying? The thing about truth is it is precise and it is absolute. It's either absolute or it's not. And what creates a false or a counterpart or a lie? It is something that is completely opposite or is a statement that contradicts what was said from before. Many people say that many people can choose to believe that everything is true, but they can't truly believe that everything is true because there are things that counteract the other. Say what the Bible says. The Bible says that Jesus died and rose from the dead, but the Quran says that Jesus never even died. One must be true, the other one must be false. One parable that is commonly placed when you go into the fields of studying religion or studying worldviews and beliefs is the parable of the 6 blind men and the elephant. So a king sits in a court and he says to his servant, bring forth 6 blind men, and the king does not tell the blind men that what they're going up to feel is an elephant. He asks them each to guess what this is. One blind man grabs the tusk and says, it feels quite sharp. It must be a spear of some kind. Look at how sharp it is, or feel how sharp it is. One grabs the ears and says, it must be a fan. Look at how flappy it is. One grabs one of the legs and says, this is very solid. It must be a tree trunk. One grabs the tail and says, it feels like a rope. It's very rope-like. One grabs the side of it, or one feels the side of it and gropes about it and says, this is huge. It's like a wall. One grabs the trunk and says the same thing as the other one. Oh, it feels like a rope. It feels like a branch of some kind. And thus, some people with that parable say that we are all human beings living in a giant world. We are all human beings living in a solar system, in a universe. Therefore, we are finite beings. We cannot fully comprehend every single fact. Like, just how I plan to study theology when I go to college, that would make me ignorant of, say, maybe psychology or the study of music. I can't learn every single possible field of studying. Even if I couldn't fully grasp the wisdom and the philosophy behind everything that man has discovered, much less discovering the power of an higher almighty being. And I think that at least the statement that no one can know the whole truth is true for everyone. And that's another figure of what truth is that it's true for everyone, it's true at all times, and in all situations. So if something is true, then it must be true all the way around in a sphere. It must be true throughout all times, throughout all places, throughout all circumstances, and throughout all. I think I just basically explained it to you guys. But say for example, okay, let me look outside. Okay, so today is what? February 28th. So it would be true to say that in Connecticut, in Bloomfield, on February 28th, at 5:54 p.m., it is cloudy outside. And what makes that true? Well, you see clouds, and you see the sun beginning to set, or you can't even see the sun beginning to set, but you see the light of day dawning darker and darker. So truth basically is what builds towards evidence, which builds towards faith. I'm not going to go into faith because that's a difficult field, but I'll talk about it in another video, maybe one after this one. But do you see what I'm saying? That the simple fact that skepticism, which is doubting everything, or saying that truth cannot exist, or that all things are relative, is false, is because they're self-defeating statements. The true basis of true agnosticism, which is saying, I don't know for sure if there is a God or not. Well, do you know for sure that statement that you said is true? Alright, before I close up, I'm just going to open to one Bible verse, if you guys don't mind. It's just going to be John chapter 18, and it's going to be verse 37 and 38. Okay, so the setting is Jesus is arrested, and he's talking to Pilate, and it says at verse 37, Pilate said to him, So you are a king? Jesus answered, You say that I am a king. For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I am come into the world, to bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of truth listens to my voice. But Pilate said to him, What is truth? After he had said this, he went back outside to the Jews and told them, I find no guilt in him. Now, I'm not going to assert just off that text or expect you to believe that God exists or what Jesus said is true yet. And I'm not going to assert that Christianity is 100% true. But I believe that it is at least 95% true. And beliefs and faith we will get into in another video. But the whole object of this first video was to tackle the whole idea of faith, well, not faith, to tackle the whole idea of what truth is and the fact that truth must exist. And if truth exists, whatever counteracts that absolute truth must be a lie. And it must be not true. And so that's all I have for today. Comment below, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, add me on Facebook, do whatever. And keep thinking, young philosophers.